Essentially, one of them is Passé Composé. So Passé Composé is essentially in your book here, this one.
It's called perfect?
It's Passé, in French, Passé Composé.
Okay.
So, it's your perfect one. Essentially, those Passé Composé is used in English. The general rule in English is any verb ending in ed. So, for example, I jumped. Or yesterday I jumped.
Okay.
Yesterday I jumped. Or yesterday or
3 days ago I ate.
Sure, that can work.
I ate eggs.
I ate, yeah. Generally in English, there are lots of ed endings. We have exceptions, obviously. Another one could be I created.
What about drove?
Drove is another one, yep.
Okay.
We never, yep.
That's not easy.
Yeah, that's okay. But yeah, anything that's like essentially
Made.
Something that has a very specific start and end time. For example, theoretically, if you took jumped, I could theoretically take out a stopwatch and go, oh, I see when you jumped, I see when your jump finished.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, imparfait is a little bit different. Imparfait, it either is a couple options. Either means I used to, aka we talked a little about this yesterday, right? I used to, whatever, walk to school. I used to blah 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 blah. It's an option. It can mean I was doing. So, for example, we'll go through how to conjugate in a second, but for example, if I say je, oh, this one doesn't work. I forgot. It's getting dry.
No idea.
So noisy.
Why do I want a kid? So annoying.
So, for example, let's take manger.
So I'm thinking of changing to become a pescatarian or vegetarian soon.
Yeah?
So I would say something like in the future, I used to eat meat.
Ah, in the past, I used to eat meat.
Well, not right now.
Oh, in the future, you could say I used to eat meat. Right, let's not take manger, let's take parler, actually. So, je...
Okay. I used to speak French.
Couldn't, so let's say je parlais, let's just leave it there. Je parlais could mean I used to speak.
Je parlais.
Or it can mean I was speaking.
So I can say I was speaking just to tell you to be quiet? I was speaking?
Potentially, yeah. Generally, if you have imparfait and you are using it as I was speaking and not as I used to, generally you're going to have a second verb in your sentence. And that second verb is going to be in passé composé. So for example, I was speaking when, a kid ran over, or a kid ran, or whatever. Screamed, right? Well, so je parlais quand soudainement, quand soudainement, un enfant a crié.
What's a crié?
Screamed.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
So je parlais quand, I'll write this for you, quand un enfant, quand soudainement, sorry, I forgot the word, soudainement, suddenly, un enfant a crié.
Un enfant
a crié. So je parlais is imparfait. Quand soudainement un enfant a crié is your passé composé. So screamed, you could literally go, I could see when a scream started, I could see where a scream finished. So often in imparfait, not always, but often you will have the first verb in imparfait and your second verb in crié.
I used to... I was speaking when a child screamed.
When suddenly a child screamed.
This is imparfait.
Yes.
Okay, so why don't I just write a few of these out?
Why don't we go through how to conjugate it first? The endings.
Yes,
do you know the endings?
I kind of do, but I just need to remember.
Well, let's just go through
those. It's different for... It's just the AIS thing, right?
Like so AIS. So AIS, tu?
Well, for the ERs, right?
All of them.
Every single?
Yep. So tu is always AIS. Je is always AIS. Il.
Which one is it again? Imparfait, right?
Imperfect. Yeah.
So AIS, EIT, IONS.
Yep. IONS, yep.
IEZ.
IEZ.
Imperfect is the same thing as imparfait.
Yep, you got it. So I'll give you a sentence in English. You tell me how you say it in French. So I'll give you, for example, let's keep it super simple. I was driving a car. Or I was driving, even simpler. I was driving. Super easy. Super, super simple.
I was a conduit, right?
Conduire, yeah.
It's a conduire. Conde.
Oh, that's an exception. Slight exception. Conduisait.
Oh, I definitely do not remember
Yeah.
that one.
I'll write it for you.
A-I-E.
That's a bad first one. Not as easy as I thought.
I think it's just because I just saw this book. This book is like kind of dumb because they just have so many
Conduisait, like that.
ones. So
What if you had to do while I was walking, I saw a client?
I don't even know what while is.
Pendant.
Pendant. Shit.
So pendant que. It's always pendant que. Almost always, anyway.
You should
Pendant
also
que.
write a list of
Blah,
all
blah,
the
blah.
little words. Yesterday I was trying to. I actually reviewed for like 10 minutes this
Yeah.
morning. So I was like making fun of myself, but.
Yeah, so pendant que is generally while.
Pendant que, that's right.
Yeah, generally.
Where did we put yesterday that donk thing? Donk was so.
Yep.
Pendant que.
We can spend some time today as well just to make a big list. If you want. Yep.
It's not for the placement test. I just don't.
Yeah,
Sometimes
it's
when you're
good to
there,
know though.
It's
They're
just
good to know.
that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Pendant que, that's while.
Yes.
Okay, so the regular sentence only.
So while I was walking, I saw a client. Those are all, yes.
Walking.
Those are all.
Marchais, right?
Mhm.
So, pendant que je marcherai, no, marchais,
Marchais.
je
Marchais.
marchais.
Mais,
marchais.
not way. One's Chinese. But,
Oh my god, like, I just heard Mandarin. Pendant que je marchais, what was the question?
I saw a client.
J'ai vu une cliente.
What? Parfait. There you go. When I arrived at the library, there were lots of books.
When I arrived at the library?
There were lots of books.
How was that even imparfait?
I didn't say it is.
Oh.
So how would you say that?
So when I used to arrive?
When I arrived at the library, there were lots of books. So arrive, would you use that imparfait or passé composé?
Passé.
Passé composé, So how do you say that? Quand,
Quand je suis arrivé
at the library,
à la bibliothèque.
à la bibliothèque,
À la bibliothèque.
there were lots of books.
Il y a.
That's there are. How do you say there were? So now imparfait.
Été, right?
Not in this case. That's was. That's were.
No, that was
Il y avait. So quand je suis arrivé à la bibliothèque, il y avait beaucoup de livres. The thing was il y a, except it's in past tense.
Il y avait.
Il y avait lots of books, beaucoup de livres.
Beaucoup de livres.
Beaucoup de livres. Sorry, let's be clear. Beaucoup de livres.
Okay. So this one is the imparfait.
Yes.
How the heck? Okay, let's do some simpler ones, please.
Okay, easier ones. Let's do.
Do some other like we stuff. We used to